Today we are going to watch the most common mistakes every engage support is doing, and that's why you are not climbing. I know a lot of you complain that you cannot carry in solo queue as an engage champion or engage support. So today I'm going to prove you that you are doing so many mistakes that if you correct them all, you probably win most of your games. The first mistake is going to be around laning phase, and probably the most broken concept to understand in laning phase for any melee support or engage support. It's all about how to utilize your support item to get advantage in lane and make sure that you are winning laning phase 100% of the games. Okay, let me explain you how I do it in this game. Now, in this clip, I'm playing Taric. So Taric is not really an engage champion, but I'm going to show you, even with Taric, how you can utilize this strategy. Is way easier to do it with Rel or Alistar or Leona, right? This type of champions usually work better because you have a straightforward engage, but also it will work if you are playing any melee champion, and it's going to be a bit more complicated, but I'm going to show you. Now, we want to make sure that we get control over the mid lane bush, right? We want control over the mid lane bush, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to explain you so you guys pay attention, is I'm going to try to hit the minions and play around the stacks of my support item. Now, my support item has one stack at the start at the first wave, and it gives me a second stack at the start of the second wave. Now, would you get level 2 after killing the 3 first melee minions from the next wave that is coming? So what I'm going to do, what's the entire plan? I'm going to use my stacks to get 2 melees of the next wave and get level 2 faster. Now, you can also use your stacks when you hit the enemy champions. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to be very smart, and I'm going to let Sona hit me. She already hit me once, so she got 22 gold, and her super stack got consumed. Here, as you see, I'm not using my super stack on this wave, and I'm going to make sure that here it's even, the Prayo, and Sona just used her stacks on poking the Zeri as well. So right now, she has no power to push. So what am I going to do here is I'm going to play for this minion. Maybe I could have done a click more aggressive, and we are level 2 already. My AD carry is going forward. Make sure that you ping your AD carry to go forward, and I here we E-flash, follow up. Of course, if I'm playing Rel, if I'm playing Leona, Alistar Maokai is going to be easier because my CC is way easier to land, and we end up getting a kill. Not only that, we get a great reset because the wave is crashing, and our jungler is patting down. I'm going to give you something extra just for the first tip, and then we move forward and faster on the next one, so you guys know that I love talking. The wave is coming to us. We know that Kai'Sa has no flash. So because Kai'Sa has no flash, and this is also going to be a small spoiler from a future point in the video, is that our Ivan is just going to make sure that he's ganking right now, and I cannot miss, right? I cannot miss the Kai'Sa without flash, and we just get another kill. So because we made sure that we had a good sequence on level 2, we got a kill, an advantage for our lane. And when your jungle is pathing down, you can set up the wave in a way that you can secure another kill. Now, you always want flat HP when you are playing engaged champions or any support in general. Never ever take scaling HP. This is one of the common mistakes when I review PGGs. I always see this mistake. So be very careful. Why? Because flat HP gets outscaled at level 7. And as a support, you are fighting all the time. Level 7, you don't really care already, so you want to be as strong as possible. Now, move speed, you could choose move speed or scaling HP. If, for example, you are going to stay more in lane, go for scaling HP. If you are going to roam a bit more towards top lane, mid lane, to with your jungle, get move speed, okay? Now, for inspiration, make sure that you choose between Cookies Cosmic as really good, Hexflash is really good for other champions. Now, when do you go Magical Boots? Because I've read somewhere that you never go Magical Boots with engaged champions. This is not totally true. It's when you are not going to roam and you have like a Kai'Sa Rel matchup into Nautilus Draven, for example, you are going to stay in lane a lot of times, and also there's a lot of fighting. So Magical Boots is going to give you a good spike for later on in the game, and at minute 11, 12, you are going to roam, and you can rush HP, the Kindle Gem, right? It's going to help you a lot. Maybe it's a bit more niche, maybe it's a bit more for high elo, but I'm going to mention it because that's what I have to do. All right, let's move on with more runes. Bomb plating or second wind. You want second wind against poke and bomb plating into engage. Now, again, a very common misconception is saying that bomb plating is not useful because bomb plating only applies on the enemy that hits you. Right? So if you get hooked by Nautilus and you get traded by enemy AD carry, the enemy AD carry is going to do the full damage. But Nautilus with his entire combo is going to do a lot of damage if you don't have bomb plating. So denying the damage, early damage from enemy support, it's always nice to do. All right. So if you're playing into engaging, then you go for bomb plating. If not, you go for second wind. Unflinching got buffed. Unflinching is a very good rune to take over Overgrowth. Before it was Overgrowth, and now Unflinching is very nice to take. All right, guys. Aftershock, I will always recommend Aftershock if you are playing against melee champions, also melee matchups in bot lane. If you are playing, for example, into Sona immobile carry like Jinx, I will always recommend to go Glacial, right? You can go for a Glacial setup, and then on secondary, you can just go for the green runes, all right? Also, instead of Glacial, you could go for Spellbook. If, for example, you are going to move more around the map. Crashing waves as a melee or engage support. What do you do when this happens? And every tip here is super important. That this one is probably the most important one. I don't know. Everything is so important. The thing is that I see, if I'm posting the video right now, if I post this clip, right now the wave crashes. And what I see you guys do all the time is that you are going to sit around the lane and just chill there. You cannot hook the enemy bot lane and dive. It's very risky to do that, like especially in this season because towers hit for so much. Some of you sit here, but I want you guys to be more useful, and I'm going to explain every single step or every single option you have to make yourself as useful as possible. Now, what could we do? First thing that I do this game is that I'm going to check the enemy pathing. You can do this on blue side to Gromp and in red side to Golems, right? Golems is a bit like you take a bit more time, but here I know that the enemy Golems are up. It's minute 230. That means that enemy jungler start top lane, right? So he's going to path towards bot lane. Now, who's pathing towards bot lane as well? My jungler. What's going to happen? A fight in the Scuttle Crab, or enemy is going to drop the bot lane Scuttle and go top lane. So what I'm doing in this game, I'm going to ping like a crazy person to my tree number to be careful because enemy jungler is going to be topside. And right now I already know the entire 3 minutes of the jungler. Another option that you guys have is you can trap in Tribush. If you feel like you are stronger, you can crush the wave, and after that the lane is going to become neutral or pushing towards you. And if you are playing against a weaker lane, you should drag your AD carry. Look how I do it in this clip, for example. I'm going to ping my Misfortune. I thought about going mid lane, by the way. That's also like a thing to do. You could go check the enemy jungle, go mid lane. Here I knew that already Karthus was pathing to our top side, so I didn't really check the ground because we already had information level 1. So you could roam mid lane or stay where I am right now. This bush, this Tribush, it's so important as an engaged champion that you play around it in early game. Look what I end up doing. I drag MF here and say, okay, let's try to attack them from behind, and now they are going to start pushing the wave and we just go. This will end up way better if I add Ignite, because I had to use the Ignite level 1 to kill the enemy jungler, so Bard escapes, but we would have killed. Now Misfortune does a mistake, which is continuing trading against Lethal Tempo Jinx, so it's going to end up a bit messy. I end up killing the Bard. We get a bit it gets messy, but the main idea is that, so I used this recent clip from today actually, and I'm getting a double kill. I will let you guys to see the clip, but don't show on the wave, don't show on the crash wave. Here I end up surviving, so I flashed into the bush. It was a bit of a playmaker, all calculated. Also, other options that you could have is like you could crash, reset, invade together with your jungle, play for the crab, get vision on enemy jungle. You can do so many things, but what I don't want to see is staying on vision in front of the tower. Bush control is very OP, but sometimes you have to hover the top side of the lane. You guys see it's minutes 3:20, and look my positioning. But coach, what are you doing here if you said that you have to play on bot lane bushes to get control of the lane? I understand. It's very important to play around the bushes, and you guys are right. Playing around the bushes gives you control over the lane. Hovering the top side gives me the ability to move faster towards mid lane, jungle, right, and help my teammates. Now, what's coming up? It's 3:18. In 12 seconds, the crab is spawning. Now, in this situation, there's not going to be any fight on the crab because the enemy jungler is just going to skip it. We had information that he started on top side, so he's going to clash into my Z if he tries to, right? Now, this is super common in low MMR games. If your jungle is pathing down and enemy jungle is pathing down, there is going to be a fight in the crab. What I don't want, and what I've seen a lot, that's why I'm explaining this, a lot of you guys playing in this bush, or a lot of you guys playing in this bush, trying to look for trades. We switch it up a bit, and instead of focusing on the laning phase 2v2, we are going to focus on the jungle matchup, right? I will play it out now. Nothing is going to happen. Actually, we're going to kill in bot lane, but that's not the point. The point is that I'm hovering here, so I'm the first one joining and helping the Zed, because now Talon could jump a wall, he could be already here. So I want to make sure that I have the first move, that I have more impact in the jungle than Soraka. Soraka is unable to do that, but if I would be in the bushes, Soraka would have the first move towards the river. And in this example, nothing happens. So once my Zed secures the crab, you will see that I'm going to switch it around and I'm going to go towards bot side bush, because right now I know that Talon is going to be top side. So I don't know if I do it right now. I think I do it after the hook on Soraka. Soraka is like trolling a bit here. This is already like Diamond 4, Diamond 3 MMR in Europe. So we end up getting a kill on Soraka who had no flash. And now I know that Talon or enemy jungle is top side. So I start signalize like my top laner, be careful. There is going to be like probably an enemy jungle right there. And always, once a bit of a bonus, right? Once you get the kill, always try to push out the lane. It's time to show you a magic trick. How to be at two places at the same time. Now, this is a very, very important, super fundamental. In general, for engaged champions is very good because it allows you to impact two lanes at the same time without being seen, right? So here, Void Grabs is going to spawn in 30 seconds. And I want to be in Void Grabs. I want to be at Void Grabs. I already have my ward items, which means that if I base, I will get more wards. I can get a counter ward. I have a lot of gold. I didn't base for a long time. So I'm going to base right now. I'm going to pause it right here and this spot, right? The wave is pushing towards Zaya, but the Tankage has no idea that I'm basing because I'm doing it from out of vision inside a bush. I know the bush is not warded because I used the super before. And now Tankage and Zaya is going to try to act. She needs to be like an actor because she has to make the enemy bot lane believe that I'm still playing the lane and I'm in the bush. Because the enemy bot lane is weaker and they cannot really go in and face check. Tankage, you see how he's respecting right now and he's not farming and trying to look for something because in his mind, how he sees the game, I'm here right now. Leona is in bot lane bush and I'm able to move first towards mid lane and towards the Void Grabs, and also connect with Kha'Zix right now. My top laner killed as well. We are feeling really good on top side, so I'm going to add my CC to the team so we can snowball a bit harder. And Zaya is also a great champion to play 1v2. You have in the description a really good document about support guide that is free to use, where I explain how to play with different AD carries and what you should be doing. And right now, the important part comes. I use sweeper because if I'm seen or there's a ward that spots me, Tankage is going to all in Zaya. So I have to make sure that I pinged my Zaya once I'm on vision. And here I'm going to be on vision because obviously I'm going to all in the Kiana, which we end up killing with Kha'Zix together. And right now the enemy bot lane realize I'm top. And now they are going to try to look for something for Zaya, but she's just going to respect and maybe bleed some minions, but we get Void Grabs. We get a kill on my jungler, who's a carry jungle. And we also deny Kiana to play the game, which is also very nice in SOLOQ, right? I will help my Kha'Zix out a bit with vision. And after that, I'm going to give you the follow-up sequence because this sequence is super important that you guys understand how to use it. But now I get wards on my own. Again, we have top lane vision, but my Kha'Zix is going to do 3 camps on top side. And then he's going to go down and farm these camps. But Kiana, because she died here and she lost camps as well, she's going to try most likely to invade or to do the dragon. So I want to avoid that. And how do I do it? With vision. That's how we do it as support players, right? This goes for every support, but I'm just going to give you the extra step to make sure that your game is on point, is that I make sure that I kick the Kiana, we saw the Kiana come, and I establish vision here. Why do I ward this? Is because we will see the dragon and Kiana as a jump, right? Talon as a jump, Jarvan as a jump. Champions that can jump walls is good to have vision over the walls because they could skip it and you will not see it with this ward. And with this ward, you will see the dragon. And at the same time, if they try to jump, to steal the red buff, right? So now Kiana has to go back to her jungle. She cannot get anything. And my Kha'Zix is not losing anything. If I did open bot lane directly, I will be bleeding my jungle. And Kiana could come from behind and gank us from behind without me noticing because I was just going bot lane by default. and not doing my job as a support. Never, ever, after level 6, and you have your ward item, the 2 big power spikes for a support player, never play lane. Don't be in lane. We don't need to be in the bush control anymore. Lane is over. Now we play them up. I gave vision for my Sivir, and I move. You see, if I'm pausing here, I will pause real fast. I have the first move. Soraka is showing on bot lane. Sivir has a nice control ward on the enemy tribush because we are winning, which allows me to have the first move. And I'm going to impact the skirmish. It's going to be a 2-for-1 for our team, which is going to be great. And after that, I'm going to drop another ward for Sivir so she can keep playing. And I'm going to disappear, right? It's the same concept of playing with Fog of War. I'm going to go a bit more in detail in the next clips. But here, we end up getting 2 good kills. Zed gets a bit more fed, right? We always like to see our teammates getting fed. Now we have access to the tribush, which is going to be very nice. They don't see us. And Zed is going to decide to start the dragon. All right. Addiction to dragons, we have it. We all have it. I show up. They know I'm here. And I'm going to drop another ward on the golems. Now, from this point on, I'm not playing lane. I'm not showing. I'm not hitting tower. I'm not helping Sidelane to push. Once your AD carry can push alone, she doesn't need me. She's going to get extra levels. I'm going to be level 7. I don't care if I'm level 7 for 10 minutes. If my Sivir can get level advantage against the Jinx, it's going to be amazing. She's already 1 level up. Soraka is still the same level as I am because I'm still getting experience in the kills, some minion here and there, but I'm not showing. Where am I going? I'm going to play top. I'm going to renew my wards. And look at the beautiful vision my Sivir has to play with. She cannot get ganked. If she gets ganked, she sees it from 10 miles away. This is the powerful tip that I can give you with support. We don't need to go extra deep. We have that control ward +2 on a winning position already. And now I'm going to impact them up. I'm going to hover my Tryndamere right now. And I'm going to give him some vision. Pay attention to bot lane again. Because my Sivir is right now hitting the enemy bot lane tower. Soraka is nowhere to be found because now Soraka is forced to follow me around the map, because if she doesn't follow me around the map, bot lane she cannot kill the Sivir, right? Now everyone is trying to defend top lane, and because everyone is defending top lane, look, it's very nice. We sit on this pink ward and we stay on this pink ward. We are not moving from this pink ward at all. I'm not showing on top lane wave. I'm not helping Tryndamere. You don't need to help your teammates pushing waves, crashing waves, not every single time, especially when they already are or healthy, have items, and they can do it alone. I will just show up if they need me to kill someone. Now here I'm getting another ward. Soraka sees it. I'm still hovering. I'm not showing on the map. Gunplan doesn't know where I am. TF doesn't know where I am. I'm dropping pressure. Like, this is the pressure that you want to play as an engaged champion. You don't want to be showing. Now I get rid of this ward. My job is done. Tryndamere can play alone. How can he play alone? Because he has vision. He knows who's coming, who's not coming, how far he can push it, and he can play for this tower alone. What am I going to do? The same thing. I'm just going to base, and now I can reopen the map and play for Sivir. She's going to try to 1v1 the TF. She could respect a bit more, but this is normal that it happens in your SOLOQ games as well. I'm just going to make sure that I'm there. We end up getting the kill onto Talon. Almost Sivir survives, and Aurora gets a kill. Once Aurora gets a kill, Tryndamere also got a kill on top lane. So that is also my merit. That's also something I did, right? Because we end up dropping the vision there. We didn't show for this entire time. And that's what's important. Not showing on the map, playing with Fog of War. Next concept, attacking Sidelane, punishing enemy in Sidelane. You have a great video about this in my channel, how to play with a Sidelaner and how to play against strong Sidelaners. Here we see Yone on top side. I know that Braum, guys, before you say it, is not an engaged champion, but still a melee champion. I'm going to show you this clip because it's a great example. Yone just was here pushing the wave. Where is he going to be? Options that he has is going to jungle, going towards mid lane, reset, but normally, and remember, this is around Diamond in EU West, imagine lower MMR games, is going to attack this side. So what I'm going to do is, instead of being around mid lane and wasting my time just hovering nothing, I'm going to be productive, dropping vision, and now attacking the enemy top side. Look at this. I'm going to connect with Naafiri. So what am I doing? Super important. I'm checking who can join me in this fight. Veigar has no TP. Shen has no TP, but he has ultimate. So Shen is able to be here. Worst case scenario, if things with Naafiri and me go wrong, he can join, right? So I always check for TP timers when I'm playing a side lane. I always check who can join, who can be here. How many players can I get into this play? right? So it's going to be Naafiri and me with a possible Shen ultimate. So I'm not that scared. Dragon is coming up, but at the end of the day, if we let John keep pushing the side lane, is going to be a big problem. So Kog'Maw is hitting mid tower. I don't really like it, but here we are just going to end up getting a kill and stop the bleeding for now. If we were bot side and try to play with Shen or play around the dragon, it will be a problem. This might sound so obvious, but it's not. I've seen this so many times. Guys, when you see an enemy champion and you're playing a CC support or engage support, make sure that you drag them in or wait till you have your allies around you. CC plus damage. I repeat it. You want CC plus follow-up damage from your teammates. You cannot CC a target and there is no damage coming. Look at the minimap. Look around you. Is your ally next to you? I drag the enemy Rek'Sai towards the Olaf, and once the Olaf is next to me, I'm going to CC the Rek'Sai. We're going to flash and we end up killing the Rek'Sai. I've seen so many times where you guys CC a target and no one follows, and this probably is one of the most common mistakes, that you guys don't climb as engage supports because you are going too fast and you're rushing. Don't rush, just be calm, wait for your teammates to be in place, maybe ping, maybe miss an opportunity. Don't waste your abilities, just hold a bit more and then play. Last one, but for sure not least, one of the most important ones: punish enemy flash cooldowns. Here I'm ganking top lane and we are going to end up getting the kill onto Cho'Gath, and Cho'Gath is also going to flash. Now, I love ganking top lane. I know you guys are not comfortable ganking top lane. It's minute 5 and I'm already making plays on top side, so make sure to pay attention to the next videos coming up very soon. I'm going to make sure that I explain how to roam and how to make sure that you are efficient roaming and your roams make sense so you can win more games. But for now, let me explain this concept. I just ganked the Cho'Gath. I know he has no flash. I know Olaf is my carry and he's going to most likely win the game for us, which at the end of the day, he did a pentakill and he won the game, because Zed is not going to carry. My Diana is behind. Yone is losing against Nautilus mid lane. What's happening right now? So I'm a bit desperate. And when you're desperate, you need to look for solutions. The good thing about playing an engaged champion is that you have agency in early game, right? I will probably explain how to play mages, enchanters later on, but we are here to talk about engage. How do we win with engaged champions, right? Agency is the #1 priority. So I end up soaking a bit of mid lane experience. It is what it is. John is dead. I know Cho'Gath is not no flash, so I'm going to try to punish him again. Now he sees me go top, but even if he sees me go top, even if he sees me here on the tribush, he's going to die. Unbelievable, right? I'm just a bit patient. I'm just going to wait on this bush. He thinks I disappear. He's going to overextend, or I think he's going to overextend. It doesn't look that good when I'm engaging. Here he's a bit patient. He goes, I think he's going for one more click forward, but he doesn't. He actually tried to respect. I dodged well the Q, and we end up getting the kill because Olaf can just get the axe. I ignite, I tank the tower for a bit, which also engaged champions can tank towers for a bit longer than mages or enchanters, and we end up getting the kill. I end up getting the kill, but at the end of the day, he loses all of this wave, plus the next wave, Olaf is going to get more plating, so Olaf gets more accelerated. The gold goes where I want it to go, and that's the important part. Be honest with me, guys, and let me know in the comments how many mistakes that I mentioned are you doing, or were you doing, because now you are going to fix them. I'm going to deliver another one of these videos for enchanters, maybe for mages if you guys like it as well, and roaming videos coming also, some new champion guides also is coming, and drafting video. I'm working very hard to make sure that a good drafting video comes out. Make sure you check the description. There is a full document about how to play support, a lot of guides and stuff to look at that is very useful before joining into game. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and as always, have a wonderful day. Bye bye.